Get a Job in Tech, episode 93. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's fine. So what I want to talk about today is work from home. And you may be asking yourself, maybe you're retired, maybe you're not, maybe you need a job. But anyway, there are in the future going to be a lot of jobs that are required that people are going to be able to work from home. So two companies in particular that will work, you can work from home, and one is Sitel and the other one is Transcom. And so working for these companies, here's kind of what it's like. So basically you get hired, they ask you a couple questions. Can you do this? Yes or no. They think you're great. Fine. They hire you. And then they send you either they send you like a USB stick, or sometimes they'll send you a phone. And before any of that happens, they'll ask you to download software on your computer. So obviously, if you get a job working from home and a company wants to put software on your computer, you want to buy yourself another computer. They're about $100, $200, whatever they are, $300 some cases. The reason you do that is because when they're going to ask you to download software, and what it's going to do is it's going to give them the IP address. It's going to give them the make and model that has to be a certain spec, like 8 gig of RAM, 4 CPU, something like that. So they want to know, and then ISP, they want to know if you have the proper bandwidth. Do you have high-speed internet, not dial-up? Although I don't think dial-ups exist anymore. Or satellite, DirecTV, or satellite internet. They don't want that. They want a landline, if you will, from like an ISP. At any rate, so these are the type of things that they're looking for before they even hire you. So when they send you this, it's probably going to be a USB, and then what you do is you plug it into your computer, a desktop, not a laptop, and you plug it in your desktop, and you boot. And it's what it is. It's a Linux, and it boots to like a VDI software that they have, or like an operating system that they have, and then you're signing from there. And so you won't be able to use said computer without this USB. So that's why you want to have your own dedicated computer when you plug in this USB. So talking about these companies specifically, what happens is they train you. It's usually like a month or 5 weeks of training that they'll train you on how working from home works, the soft skills, how to call customers, how to answer issues related to internet, because their customers are companies like Cox Communication. They have internet basically, so customers will call up Sitel and say, I have an issue with my internet, can you solve it? And you're the tech support essentially for Cox in that regard. And they have other contracts as well, but more particular in this case. So you'll troubleshoot that, and your 5 weeks of training is going to help you to troubleshoot those type of scenarios. Now, obviously, if you don't have any IT training and you pass the interview, then you're doing something good. Because during the 5 weeks, you can put on, even if you don't have the skill set and you need a job, and they offer it to you, take it. The reason is because you're going to get 5 weeks of training, paid training essentially. So you're just there free, and you have to work, of course, but you can have free training. And afterwards, after your 5 weeks, they have like a system where they offer you a shift. So it's obviously 40 hours a week, but you have certain shifts. You have a day shift, or you have a night shift, and you can pick whatever shift you want. And the shifts usually change every 2 or 3 months, and they rotate and all those things. How to get promoted in that type of role is to have your call time down. So for instance, you're calling someone and you're troubleshooting an issue with the customer, and how you get promoted is you're able to resolve. So you can resolve an issue, say under 5 minutes or 3 minutes, whatever the metrics are for that particular company. And that's how you get promoted. And then once you're promoted, now you just sit back and of course you answer questions, and you train workers, of course, because you're sort of a manager now. But at the same time, it's less stressful for you because once in a while you have to answer questions. Maybe you'll have to sit in on a call, meaning just to coach the person, the coworker, on how to interact with the customer. But that's further down the line. That's probably after you've been working there a year or so. But at any rate, the good thing about this job is it's work from home. The not so good, let's say, about it is you have to have a dedicated internet and you have to use a desktop, not a laptop. So that's the only downside. So if you could, for instance, you go on vacation and you rent a house, maybe you rent a Airbnb, an apartment, something like that has dedicated internet, you could probably get away with going there and using assuming they have internet, not a wireless internet, but you could use a dedicated internet line there, and you could work from home during your vacation. So you can save some vacation time in that regard. These are upcoming jobs. Obviously, there's very many jobs out there like that, and I think this is probably the future of work. Now, obviously, the pay doesn't pay as much. Anywhere from 10 to 15 an hour is what they pay. So that's the only downside in it. And obviously, that's just a entry level position that you get into. So thanks a lot. We'll see you next one.